Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to the Sacred Femme Diaries, and today we are talking about, have you missed this massive formula, this massive piece to manifestation? And that massive piece is Allah. You may call him God, Source, Creator, the Most High. I call him Allah. He has many names. And I want to talk about why it's so important to have spiritual discernment and spiritual connection as well as money. Because I know so many people in the online space talk about having lots of money, becoming a millionaire, but never talk about spiritual wealth. And I believe that you cannot have one without the other. I do not believe that you can have money without spiritual fulfillment, spiritual connection, spiritual wealth. True wealth is when you have a deep connection with Allah. And if you don't have that, you're more likely to sabotage and feel unfulfilled. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about how to reconnect with Allah by releasing the shame and letting go of attachments. So is this you? You always are trying to control the how. When you think about your dreams and your goals, you're saying to yourself, but how am I going to do it? How am I going to get there? How? You're always asking how. And then you start over planning. You start planning for the worst case scenario. You say to yourself, but what if this happens? And what if that happens? And what if I can't do this? So you always try to control the outcome. I like to call this a God complex. You believe you have so much control over your life that you can control the future. So subconsciously, you're saying to yourself, I don't need Allah. I got it. I've got it covered. And this is very interesting because in the Quran, Allah says he does not charge, he doesn't burden a person beyond their capacity. If you are feeling stressed, if you are feeling burnt out, if you're feeling overwhelmed, it's because you are choosing to hold on to things that is none of your business. It's for Allah to handle and not you. So when you are thinking about daily tasks and you're saying to yourself that, oh my God, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to do that, I've got to do this, and you have all this massive to-do list, and then you're thinking about your future, like, how am I going to get there? Like, how, Allah, how are you going to bring it to me? What you're really saying to Allah is that I don't need you. I'll figure out myself. Allah, I don't need your help. And this is a massive component that is missing in the manifestation world, where people say, I manifested, I did this, I did it. No, you put in the effort. But it's Allah who brought it to you. It is Allah who is that massive power, that unlimited resource that brought you what you wanted. It wasn't without him. It wasn't without him. Yes, you put in the effort, which is what is required from you to receive your blessings, to receive what you pray for, to receive your manifestations. But it didn't happen without Allah. It didn't happen without Source. And this is where a lot of people in the manifestation world get caught up. When you are manifesting and thinking about your desires, and you think to yourself, okay, I'm supposed to manifest it in 7 days. I'm supposed to have manifested £1 million in 2 days. I'm supposed to have won the lottery. I'm supposed to have done this. You are starting to get into the space of that God complex where you believe you do not need Allah, where you don't need God. And you can do it all by yourself. And this is why you have anxiety. This is why you are stressed, because you want to control every single outcome. But that is Allah's job. That is not your job. Your job is just to slowly get there. Your job is to tune in to your vision, to your desire, and get into alignment by believing that you have what you pray for. That is it. So this is what will happen when you are praying for something. For example, let's say you're praying for a 10K month. You're praying for more clients to pay you. Maybe you've increased your prices and you're praying for a client to pay you in full. The first step that will happen is when you are praying to Allah about it, you have already received it. When you pray to Allah for something, it means it has been answered. It is on its way. It's like Amazon Prime, right? Like I was saying in my last episode, like Amazon Prime, where the desire is being shipped out. It's in cargo. But what will happen now is your environment is going to change, and this is where people mess up. When you ask Allah for something, when you pray to Allah for something, your environment has to change in order to receive the blessing, in order to receive what you pray for. Because right now your environment is a reflection of your old beliefs. When you pray for something new, you have to upgrade your mindset. You have to upgrade your belief system. And that means your environment has to change, because your environment is simply a reflection of what you believe. Allah says in the Quran, do you think you can say you believe and won't be tested? So when you say to Allah, Allah, I'm ready for that 10K client. I'm ready for that 10K month. Or if you say to Allah, thank you, Allah, for my 10K client without even having the 10K client, and you get into a space of gratitude, that means you have up leveled your frequency. That means you have turned up, you've sped up the process. Like, I want you to imagine your environment is running at 30 miles an hour, right? And then your desire is running at 50 miles an hour. Okay, so then what happens is when you are asking for your desire to come, that means your environment has to speed up. And that's where chaos happens. So when your belief system starts changing, your environment changes, and that's where chaos happens. It's like breaking down a whole house and trying to rebuild a new one. There's so much chaos. Maybe you get sick. Maybe you get tired. Maybe you want to rest. Maybe you feel lazy. Maybe you're saying to yourself, I'm so unproductive today. I haven't done nothing. Maybe you have an argument with your husband. Maybe you get irritated with your friend and cut ties with her. Maybe you quit your job. Maybe you get made redundant from your job and you're thinking, oh my God, maybe your car breaks down. Maybe you get an unexpected car parking fine. Something crazy will happen in your environment. Something crazy will happen in your life when you ask Allah for something, when you ask for your desire to come to you. Something crazy will happen. And even if it doesn't happen, it might happen within you where you just feel so frustrated and you think to yourself, when is it going to come? When am I going to get what I pray for? When am I going to get it? So you're feeling that frustration in your body. That means you have to let go. When you're feeling frustrated, when you're seeing chaos in your environment, it means you have to let go of the old belief system that kept you small, kept you playing small, that kept you in this environment. Right now, imagine you're praying for 10K, but you're living in a 5K environment. So you have to get rid of some clothes. You have to get rid of some pottery. You have to get rid of some cutlery in order to receive 5K more. Because right now, your environment can't handle 5K more. Your environment is at max capacity. It can only take in 5K. So you have to declutter. You have to empty. You have to clear the space. You have to expand your body, expand your mind, become expansive in order to receive the 10K. And this is where people mess up. This is where people get into their feelings and think, oh my God, it's never going to come. Allah doesn't want me to have it. Now what's happened to you is you have gotten into a state of the God complex where you're saying to yourself, I don't need Allah. I'll figure it out myself. And this is where people get into a sabotage cycle where instead of leaning back, resting, getting into feminine energy, you start hustling, over-proving, overworking, overachieving. It's like, imagine jumping into that river. Imagine there's a ship with 10K on it and it's coming your way. And instead of waiting for it to come, because you know it's coming your way, it can't go anywhere else. It has to come to you. You are the port. But because you are in that state of like, I do it myself, I don't need Allah, you jump in that water and swim against the tide. And you are swimming and swimming against the tide. And then you get tired halfway through because you cannot swim against the tide. It's very hard. If you ever tried going in the sea and swimming against the tide, you will always end up back at the shore. That's exactly what you're doing. And this is a point where you have to sit back at the port, sit down and get really excited about your desire coming to you. Just imagine that ship on that river is coming to you like, oh my God, it's coming, it's here. That's the energy you have to be in. But even better, just be neutral. Like you can have moments of excitement, like, oh my God, yes, my desire. But then most of the time you're just neutral. Because the language of the universe, the way that Allah has created this world, is neutrality. It's to feel neutral. It's to feel like you already have it. Because remember, your environment reflects you. That means the world reflects you. Because only you exist. Everything is a mirror. Imagine looking in the reflection and you wait for the reflection to smile. It won't smile right until you smile. That means everything has to start with you. Wherever you are praying for, it has to start with you. It has to start with you being convicted and firm and trusting that you already have what you pray for, that it's already been answered, that it's already on its way, that it's already been delivered. All you have to do is just get neutral about the wait, get excited, get into that feeling of abundance. Oh my God, Allah, when I pray to you because you want me to have it. That's the kind of energy you have to be in when you're talking to Allah and making prayers. Like, this is the way I make my prayers. This is how I pray to Allah. I say, Allah, thank you. Thank you for my private jet. Oh, Allah, it is so beautiful. I travel wherever I want to go. Allah, you make my life so easy. I know you love spoiling me. Allah, you make life so easy for me. Oh, Allah, thank you for my $400 million in my account. Allah, every day when I look at my account, I feel so secure. Thank you for making me feel secure. And I get so emotional saying this because I remember as a little girl, I just wanted to feel secure and stable. So I get really emotional, like, Allah, thank you. You saved me. You make me feel safe. You've made me feel safe by giving me $400 million. Like when I look in my account, I just feel so safe and secure. And I love spending the money. I love giving it away. And the more I give it away, the more it comes back. Allah, thank you for teaching me this. Thank you for opening my heart up to giving. Thank you for putting me in a space of love. And then I talk about my private island. Allah, thank you for my private island. It's just like everything I ever dreamed of. All my family are living with me. I don't feel alone. I feel so wonderful. I feel so incredible. I feel so loved. I feel so connected. My brother, my sisters, everyone is around me. My in-laws, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law. We all living together. My friends. We are all together on this island. And it feels so amazing. We travel together. Like it feels so amazing to have so much freedom. Like money is not a thing, Allah. Thank you so much for putting me in this mindset. This is how I make my prayers. I just imagine that it's already here. So then now when I pray, it's just like, I'm not in need of it to come because I already have it. If I can think it and believe it, that means I have it. And now what would happen is the second step, after the chaos happens, now what will happen is you have to stay firm in your belief that you have it. And this is what Allah says, do you think you can say you believe and won't be tested? So Allah's going to test your belief system by making your environment feel chaotic, by making you feel chaotic so you can purge whatever belief is in your body that's stopping you from receiving what you want. It's like imagine your cupboard is full of clothes and you've bought a whole new wardrobe of clothes. There's no way that you can fit the clothes in that old wardrobe. You're going to have to remove all the old clothes, give them away in charity, and then put the new clothes in for you to have a new wardrobe. It's the same thing with your belief system. You have to remove all the beliefs and the frustration, the anger, the overwhelm, feeling like you want to cry all the time, feeling like you want to sleep is you releasing the old beliefs. You just have to let it go. The main thing here is you have to let it go. Let go of the attachment. Let go of the how it's supposed to look. Well, this person on Instagram, she's living her best life. And did she ever go through this? Did she ever like rest? She don't look like she rests. She's always living her best life. But I can guarantee you that anyone who is rich knew the language of their body, knew how to speak to Allah, and knew how manifestation works. That you have to just let go of the attachment to what you want. Because the attachment to what you want, the believing that you don't have it creates the resistance. And Allah is trying to teach you to let go of that feeling so you can receive it because Allah wants to give it to you. Your desires, your vision to do good in life is from Allah because you're on this planet to give back. You're on this planet to make everyone's life better. You have a gift to make someone's life better. You are not here just to serve yourself and die. You are here to serve the greater good. So that vision you have to help people, to give back, to use your gift for good is from Allah. Allah wants you to have it. He wants you to evolve to become that person that you're meant to be, the woman you're meant to be. But you have to let go of the attachment you have to your vision because the more attached to it you are, the more you feel like you don't have it, the more the resistance will be. Because in your subconscious mind, when you keep saying to yourself, well, I don't have it right now, so how can I feel like I have it? How can I believe like I can have it? Your subconscious mind will say, yes, you're right, we don't have it. Because your subconscious mind is here to prove you right. It's like an algorithm. The more you feed it the belief that you don't have it, the more the subconscious mind will show you that you don't have it. The way to change the algorithm of your subconscious mind is to constantly believe you have it, that you're not in need of it. And then when you get an unexpected bill, you're like, oh, Allah, thank you. Thank you, Allah. Thank you, Allah, for reminding me I have so much money. Oh, Allah, thank you so much for reminding me that I have so much money. And when your car breaks down, when you get an unexpected bill, when something involves money, Allah is testing you to see if you really do believe you are abundant, to really believe, to see if you really believe that you're rich. Like it's happened to me so many times. I'll give you my example. Like recently I was feeling really frustrated around money. And I don't know where it was coming from because me, I'm very good with money, mashallah. I'm not in debt. I have wealth coming in and out of my bank account. Alhamdulillah, I'm never short of money. Like I have a carefree attitude with money. I spend money because money is meant to be spent. I don't save it in my account. I spend it on land. I spend it on real estate. I spend it on experiences. I just love spending money because money wants to be spent. But then something was happening. I was feeling frustrated and I was in the middle of my launch. I'm launching for my next round of Sacred Feminine Pleasure in July. And I was feeling really frustrated and I was calming down, relaxing. I was like, why am I so frustrated? And I realized in that moment, Allah was teaching me to let go of the how. Even though I'm very rich, Mashallah, I'm very, very rich. I'm still learning how to let go. And I had to let go of the attachment to money. And I don't know what that attachment was. I still don't know. But I just know in my heart, in my soul, my intuition was telling me, let go of the attachment to money. I was like, okay, let me let go of the attachment to money. And you know what I did? I paid my coaches in full. I have some outstanding payments in the future with my coaches. I paid them all. I was like, why am I holding on to this money? Let me just pay my coaches. And in that moment, I saw my savings dwindle. I saw all my money going down. And then the next day, I got it all back. I got all that money back the next day. I woke up to the same amount of money in my account. I was like, Allahu Akbar. Allah, thank you so much for teaching me this. And I go back to that principle of Allah, thank you so much for teaching me this. And this is the final step. When you receive what you want, how do you act? Do you act like, oh my God, Allah, this is too good to be true? Oh my God, this is not meant for me. Am I meant to have this? And then you start thinking to yourself, start thinking of ways to sabotage yourself. Or do you hold the state that Allah, of course, duh. Of course, this is going to come in my account. Of course, I'm making money. Of course, money came into my account. Duh, what else did I expect? Like, I've always had it. It becomes a neutral thing. It's like you don't think of ways to sabotage yourself. You don't think of ways to hoard the money, save the money, spend the money, invest the money, or like become reckless with the money. You're feeling so neutral because you expected it all along. You are already in that state of neutrality around money, around abundance, around your vision. That when you receive it, it's just like, oh yeah, duh, of course. Like I believed it all this time, even when I didn't have it in my 3D reality. And this is the final step where people mess up on, is where they sabotage because they haven't worked on those subconscious beliefs that keep them in the sabotage cycle. So the sabotage cycle can start in the beginning, where you're praying for what you want and then chaos happens and you think, oh my God, chaos is happening. Let me go back to my old patterns of procrastination, anxiety, perfectionism, oversleeping, overwhelm, overgiving, people pleasing. Or is at the end when you receive what you want and you go back into a sabotage cycle thinking, oh my God, I'm not used to this. This is unfamiliar. Let me go back to my old habits. Let me spend my money. Let me be reckless with money. Let me save the money because I'm scared I'm not going to have money. Let me, pick a fight with my husband. And this is what used to happen with me. When I used to make money, I used to always get into a fight with my husband and I didn't know why. This was right in the beginning of our relationship. I remember making like a big amount of money and I started picking a fight with my husband. And in that moment, I realized, oh my God, Rose, you're in a sabotage cycle. You are picking a fight with your husband because it feels so unfamiliar to get things so easily. You're used to hustle. You're used to proving yourself. You're used to working so hard for money. That's the reason why you're nitpicking with your husband, because you want to create that chaos. You want to create that toxic cycle again. When I recognize that pattern, I used abundance rewiring to release the pattern, the need for insecurity, the need for toxicity, the need for drama, the need for hustle. Because what I would do is when I picked a fight with my husband after making money, I would use that anger to go back to work again, to go back to work on my content again. This is why it's so important to have that deep belief in Allah, that everything is working out for you. Everything is on time. Nothing has gone wrong. And I want you to have that affirmation in your mind, that everything is working out for me. Nothing has gone wrong. Everything is on time. Allah wants to spoil me. These are the affirmations I want you to say to yourself every single day. When you're thinking about your vision, when you're thinking about your big dream, I want you to say this affirmation. Everything is on time. Nothing has gone wrong. Allah wants to spoil me. Thank you so much for listening.